Hey guys, I'm April from Giggle Glitter Graphics, and this is my flip through of my Valentine's Day journal. This journal has a romance novel theme. It has 3 signatures, 5 pages in each signature. It is about 2¼ inches thick and about 6 by 8½ inches. I've got some beadwork on the outside, some vintage fabric along with some lace to tie it shut. And I used a kind of a pinkish red fabric to cover the waffle box, the pancake mix box that I used to make this book. The front of this journal has a folio. I've embellished the front of it with a little bit of 3D fussy cut work there, along with the word smitten to go with my romance novel theme. Let me pop this open for you. If you follow my channel, you know that I create printables for junk journals and scrapbooking. There's a little piece of note paper inside of this one. So this is one of my kits. It comes with a tutorial on how to assemble it. This opens all the way out. I did add a few embellishments to this kit. I have a little bit of vintage paper back here. This bookmark, I added a tassel to the top of it. I'm going to quickly kind of show you some of the contents of the kit. I added some glitter cardstock to my candle card. Got a necklace, lock, some more things over here, vase of flowers, teddy bear. And this tag, this door tag, it has 2 sides. I added a couple of charms to the string on this. I've got a key, you can kind of see that, and this little heart. So let's go ahead and undo the ties and peek inside. I put a piece of fabric down on my table. All these charms and beads on the spine were banging around and it made a lot of noise, so I started over. So our tour guide today is going to be our little kitten card. She's going to show us all the pockets and things that where I don't have things tucked in. So the front of the book, I've got one of my adventure romance tags. I did attach it at the top and bottom, so there is a pocket here to tuck things inside of, but there's a second pocket back there. It's separate from that one for this journaling card to go in. That's part of the way that tag is constructed in the kit. This pops open. And we've got each one of these kind of tells a story. So there's some items like a necklace and a book. And this has got our heroine of our adventure. And then I use the other items from the kit to decorate the inside flap. I used some vintage paper, some washi tape, and decorated the inside of that. So it was a little more exciting when I opened it up. Over here, I kept things kind of simple. There was a door already on the paper, so I added a fussy cut and kind of tucked this little love letter inside here. This is just a piece of notebook paper. I folded up. I added a little stamp to make it cute. A little bit of paper, or a little bit of ribbon. Tied that up. We've got some chiffon, rhinestone, and a fussy cut to kind of balance it out and create some interest on the page. So this is a belly band. I started off as a flip in one of my crafting videos, if you follow some of my crafting videos, but it turned into this crazy belly band, and I ended up finishing this on my own and added a little fabric and layered in some text, a little gold leaf. And on this side this is an envelope that's sewn in. I layered some fussy cuts there. I did this on one of my Craft With Me videos. And we have a pocket here. And then when you flip this open, we've covered up the flap of the envelope, but there's also the inside of the envelope there. I attached a tiny little envelope here and used a fussy cut with a dimensional sticker to kind of hold that shut so it wasn't flipping all over the place. And this page is sewn in. It's a doily that I've folded up, sewed it in. I sprayed it with some gold paint. And then I put a piece of double-sided scrapbook paper inside there just to let the colors peek through. I liked how that looked. It brought some more color here. It was a little bit boring before. Here's a shaker we made in part 2 of my Craft With Me series out of a mailing envelope. I really like how this one came out. I love the colors on it. I did this page in part 1 of the series. We've got a piece of ephemera tucked in here and a postcard. And then I made a paper clip. I'm not going to pull this off because it's holding things on the other side as well. But there's a paper clip inside of this tag. It was a double-sided tag. So it's sandwiched in there, and then it's holding in a piece of torn scrapbook paper, and I embellished that with a stamp and then a little bit of torn paper that was left over from this. And here's a page from a vintage poem book, another fussy cut, and some journaling space. I left all the centerfolds undecorated in this because I had some of these double spreads and I really like those, so I just wanted to enjoy them like they are, but there's definitely room for me to keep adding things in here, so who knows what I might do in the future. This page, I fussy cut out one of the journal pages and turned that into a flap. Let me move this over. So we've got some journaling space. I've got a pocket here with a tag in it, and then there's another pocket here that I put some ephemera into. It's like a perfume ad. And this is a triple pocket page. We've got a bunch of goodies stuffed in here, fussy cut, journaling card, another postcard. This is attached, but there's also another door card. We've got an envelope. I haven't tucked anything inside this one, but I did take time and embellish the outside with some brown paper and some gold leaf, a little fussy cut, and then one of the words from the kit. And then I decorated this pocket. I did a little bit of Sharpie decoration. I drew along the edge. And then there's some doily and tulle and rhinestones and a fussy cut all kind of stacked up there to make all those layers. Some vintage ribbon on this side. Here's another of my adventure romance tags. I've got the journaling card in the back. And inside we've got our heroine of our story, along with some of the items that tell her tale. Got a flower, key, a jewelry box, and a hairpin. You can see that. And then this is the other side of the doily with the pocket in it. I put the paper in this as well. And then this is some layered fussy cuts where I did dimensional stickers. Not sure if you can see that. And then I tucked some iridescent lace in there and created this kind of 3D add-on. I had fun with this. I made 2 of these in this book and I enjoyed making those. They were quick and easy and they brought me some joy. Here's a little pocket for a love note tucked in behind this gentleman. Hold that up. And this is the other half of our envelope. And we've got this card. I'm pretty sure I worked on this in part 1 of the Craft With Me series on this journal. For the second signature, I've got another paper clip here. And again, I have things on both sides, so I won't pull this out, but I've got some I dyed with food coloring. I dyed pink lined paper here, a scrap of scrapbook paper, and then my tag. And we've got another piece of vintage book page and a fussy cut tucked into here. Another fussy cut. I've turned this panel. It was a torn piece of scrapbook paper. I tore it, attached it to a piece of dyed paper so that I had this little flip open panel. We've got, this was a piece of scrapbook paper, journal pages that I printed at 5x7. I printed 2 of them to a page, and then I folded it in half and turned it into a tag. I was really happy with how that came out. I like big things, so that made me really happy to be able to use my journal paper as more than just large journal pages. Here's the back side of that dyed paper. I got some really interesting coloring, so I left that out. This is a smaller doily. I put a couple fussy cut roses so that when you flip it, there's a little like kind of handle there. And this is the other 5x7 page that I printed. And this one I turned into a little pocket. So we've got a journal card. I have some vintage fabric. I made a tab for the top of that. And then a little piece of, it's an ad for a corset. Thought that was a fun addition to go with our theme. Some candles. I printed a little paper on some vellum here. More dyed lined paper for journaling. I put a little tab at the top and just put a fussy cut, but I left lots of room for writing. And then here's the third of our 4 adventure romance tags. So we got, again, the journaling card in the back. And I used the items, the fussy cuts actually on this page and turned them into little clips to hold this paper in. And this just kind of comes right out. It's a tied piece of journaling paper, and then it just pops right back in there. Let's look inside this tag really quickly. And I've decorated the top part of it. Used a little gold foil, and then here's our lady. And there are backs on all these tags as well. I think this is my favorite. This is the very center of my journal, and I love these journaling pages. I just left them as is. I mean, we put a little bit of purple ink around the edge, and then I just left them be because this was so pretty. And I like when you open it up and all the flowers and everything's right there. There's a pocket spread. I've got a bookmark, another romantic portrait, this cute little envelope, and I put button and cut out on that, and then use the stamp and some vintage lace and some chiffon on the bottom. And then on this side I made another tag with glitter cardstock and the candles. This is a journaling card I turned into a pocket. And then I decorated the edge with some washi tape. There's some stamping on here, and I hand drew this little leafy pattern and then inked up the paper that it was on. So here's the other layered fussy cut that I made where it's with the dimensional. There was a big frame, so I put the bird on the frame, added in some glitter tulle, it's green, and then we've got a button and a rhinestone on there. I'm pretty pleased with how that came out. And then this is just some lace I glued on both sides just to kind of hold it in there. It's doing an okay job. I probably could have left a little more room, but it's for me and I'm okay with it. Another piece of vellum I printed with some digital paper. And on this side, I got a little crazy on this page. We've got, here, I'll pull this paper clip off. This is just a rose gold paper clip. I attached it to a fussy cut. And we've got a couple pockets on this page. There's a big pocket, this purple cardstock back here, but then this is a belly band, this journaling card. So this piece of paper kind of can be pulled out and then put back in. I'm gonna lift this up. I've got some more vintage fabric. I have quite a large vintage fabric collection that I've just started getting into. It's been in storage for a while, so all needed cleaned. So I'm slowly working my way through it so that I can use it in my journals. And we've got kind of a triple flip moment. Got one in our doily in here, the other half of that with a fussy cut, 2, and then our dyed paper with the lines on it is 3. Turn that page, there's the other side of it. The pinks came out really nicely on that gazebo. And now on to our third signature. I had some crazy rough and tumble stuff going on here. I printed paper on the vellum and then I fussy cut the edge of that just to do something a little bit different. To pop that open, and then I had a piece of paper that I dyed that kind of disintegrated when I was dyeing it. Let's see if I can get this up so you can see a little better. It had started to fall apart and I decided I was going to use it anyway. So I just left it be. I inked it a little bit to try and bring out some of the details. and then I just collaged on top of it with a journaling card. This was an index card, and I just cut it to the size I wanted and rounded the corners, and we got a couple fussy cuts and a little more vintage fabric down here at the bottom poking out. This is more collage work. We've got a pocket. I layered a doily and a fussy cut for this lady. And then this tiny little pocket with our key in it. And a lock. There's some more lace at the top here and more vintage trim. Here we've got kind of a garden thing going on. We've got our column with all the flowers. It's another piece of dyed lines paper, journaling card pocket, and a bookmark with all these garden flowers on it, and some ribbon. Added a washi tape and a stamp to this page, and then some more of my fabric. Here I got a little crazy with my tags. I grabbed the glitter cardstock, but I decided to add some of these smaller cutouts to it and some scraps of fabric and make these crazy little collage tags. I've got one there, and then this was a medium-sized doily. It's folded up to make like a little bitty pocket. This one has a boat on the water, and this is a tab I made out of fabric again. I really enjoyed doing that. I just coat the hole inside with glue stick and fold it over, and it makes a fairly stiff tag. So I like how that works. More lined and dyed paper. This one I used a Sharpie to kind of add like a fake stitching to. I'm still not sewing yet, but I will eventually. Maybe on the next one, I'll get that sewing machine out. The last of our adventure romance tags, journaling card in the back. This one has kind of a fantasy theme almost. It's got magic doors. And then when you pop this one open, there's a cauldron and a potion bottle. Here's our lady. I feel like she looks a little worried. And I used another piece from her kit to make this. This is also a paper clip and a couple scraps of fabric or paper tucked under there. And here you can see the other side of that paper clip. I haven't tucked anything in because I wanted to enjoy my tree with the swing. Some more paper. Lines paper for journaling. We've got an extra pocket here that we can tuck something into. Some extra scraps and another paper clip. Journaling paper with a piece of fabric. I made one big long tab on there. I was just like, maybe I can, and I did. So I liked how that looked. A couple more of our collage tags in the back here. We've got some swans and a little gift. Here I've embellished the pocket with another fussy cut, some glitter paper, and cherish. There we go. And this page, this was so simple. There's a pocket down here in this corner, piece of glitter cardstock there with a fussy cut on it, and I have used gold foil all over the place on this page. I took this huge key fussy cut and I foiled all the edges because I was feeling sassy. And I love how that came out. And then I glued this piece of ribbon on both sides so that it also made a tuck spot to put another, and I just added another of my portraits here. This was dyed paper and I added some ink to it. I just thought it was really pretty, so I left it be. And I also liked how the vellum looked over top of that. Now we're to the back of the journal. A couple more fussy cuts. Got a big clock. And then another lovely lady. And then I did first sight on the pocket. There we go. I felt kind of with the clock, it was almost like a Cinderella feel. I'm not sure, but but it kind of made sense to me, so I went with it. So I hope you've enjoyed the flip through of my Valentine's Day journal. If you're interested in any of the printables I've created for this project, you can find links to them. They're in my Etsy shop, and those links are down below. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I enjoyed making this journal, and I am looking forward to making my next one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you.